Hello and welcome back. It has been a while since I've done a proper YouTube video. We've kind of really moved away from it for a while, but I'm so happy to be back. And since the last time, a lot of things have changed and I thought I will give you a little update. Of course, now all of my different pages have grown massively in the past 6 months, which has made it possible for me to now be a full-time content creator. And one of the questions I get asked all the time is, how do I manage to post so consistently while also having a podcast, while running the professional network, and while teaching part-time at university? And to be honest, I counted it out, and turns out I actually do post a minimum of 100 posts every month. I post everywhere. I post on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, LinkedIn, and it does take a lot of time technically to shoot, to prepare, and get it ready to post. But what I've realized is having a very streamlined workflow does help. Even if you're a solopreneur or if you're working with a team that is remote or in person with you, it does help with systemizing everything. And I love that. I'm a little nerd, so I will put a system wherever I can. In this video, I will go over the creative part, the production, the post-production, the posting, and also what happens after you post and how do you make sure that you're growing the right way. Honestly, for me, the creative part is what I have always struggled with, not because I don't like it. It's more because for me, it was very chaotic. The way I was collecting information, I was organizing it and leading to ideation and scripting, it was always very chaotic. So that's why I have developed this workflow and I call it the 5S workflow, obviously S for Sheen. And this is how I discovered Cosmic. And honestly, since then, it has been a game changer. And I have had the pleasure of actually working very closely with the team, and they are actually sponsoring this video today. So thank you, Cosmic. And I would love to show you how Cosmic has become the best research tool for me and has completely streamlined my process. In a very brief sentence, Cosmic is a visual Canva, so you can see everything that you're doing, but it also has an inbuilt PDF reader and a browser. Are you excited to find out about it? Because honestly, it blew my mind. As I said, lazy me, it really helps because I do not have to switch in between different browsers and different apps anymore. Everything is in one place. Let me show you. So I have the desktop app for Cosmic. Once you open it, this is my universe. I call it my content vault. But this is what you see once you enter. And it's an infinite canvas. So I can keep adding, and there's no limit to the size of this canvas. And if I select all, and I press this button, it will show you everything centered around here. What do I have here to start with? This is just my 4 content pillars. So if we were to go a little bit closer, obviously we have the podcast. The second one is entrepreneurship. Third one is tutorials. Fourth one is Dubai. So what does that mean? These are the 4 categories under which I create content. Now, if we go to my actual streamlined process, the first S is searching. What does that mean? Whenever you're online, you come across a video that you think, oh, that might be a good idea to create content. Or if you have an idea about a particular video that you want to make, then that's called for me the searching part of ideation, of creation of content. That was a lot of words. So let's go back to our Canva. So what I do initially is for each bucket, I make a list of any potential ideas of videos that I have. So for instance, let's look at entrepreneurship. You will see that I have different lists and I have separated them into general, what buckets they fall in. For example, a vlog maybe about the life of an entrepreneur, or the logistics side of things, or the emotional side of things, or the team side of things. So different buckets. And whenever I have any idea that run through my mind, or I see anything on Instagram while scrolling or something, I will just list it down here. Very easy. You can just write it here and list it down. Now, the next step is, once I have decided what are the titles of the videos, how do I find out more about that video and do my own research, right? So here I can show you an example of something that was already done, and then we'll do one together. I know you all loved the episode that I did with Sarah Al-Madani, so let me show you the behind the scenes of that episode. So as you can see, I put a little sticker here with the name of the guest. And then what I do, this is where the magic starts with Cosmic. So you see the little world here, you click on it, and now it's opened the inbuilt browser. So From here, I found all of these videos that Sarah has done in the past, all the interviews that she has done. I searched for it and I built all of it here. So you can see I have collected the relevant interviews that she's done, the relevant articles that she has done. And that means that I can now use this in order to do my research to build our own script. So this was step 1 for this podcast. So let's say we want to do for another podcast guest. I'm going to put down a little sticker with the name. Who's our dream guest? If you remember, it's going to be Michelle Obama. So we have our little sticker with her name here. Now I need to find out a bit more about the interviews that she's done. So I go on the web sticker and I search Michelle Obama interviews. As you can see, Chrome has now found some examples for me. And this is where the magic happens. I see Michelle did an interview with Jay Shetty. It's a YouTube video. I can just drag it here. I don't need to copy, paste, nothing is just here. Look at that. How magical is this? Now the video is here. Now let's see something else. This one is with Jimmy Fallon. Let's add that here as well. And you can see that like magnets, they just tack to each other, which is incredible. And there's one here with Oprah, which is a written article in a magazine. Here as well, I can just drag it and here it is. Now let's see one more. Michelle with Ellen. Let's add that one here as well. There we go. And maybe let's find another written article. We have this one on People magazine. So there we go. And as you can see, they all attach to each other. So I could put it here, but if I bring it here, it's just like magnets. They just come together. So now we have this. We have Michelle Obama and the different articles that she has done. This is the search part done. And now if I close the browser and I go back here, I come back a few days later and I want to do anything with it, I just click on it and it opens directly. So you see the video is right there and it's super easy now for me to just go there and watch it and everything, right? Super convenient. So this is the search part done. So another fun part, let's open one of the actual written articles. Let's see this one with Oprah. Now, if I'm reading through it and I see Michelle said that one of her prayers at night is that we stay whole as a family through this process. And I want this quote and I want to keep it. So I just highlight it here. I copy, I come to my Canva and I paste and there we go. We have it. So that's the inbuilt PDF reader. That means that now I have it just here. I don't need to go back to the article and find it. I have a lot of different quotes here. Let's see if I wanted to put something a bit bigger like this. I Command C, which is copy, and I come here and I copy and it's here. Another fun thing I can do with this now is I can actually highlight this. So there's a tool here, which is the highlighter. And if I make it the biggest one, and we're going to take the Dream Girl pink, and I can just highlight that they wanted to stay in the car. And we can just highlight, we can't hug you. There we go. That's highlighted. And then I close this box, and here we are. You see that the highlighted parts are now there. So very interesting tools. So that's the search part done. Now, the second part, the second S of the workflow is scripting. This is very interesting for me because scripting can take very different forms. So for the podcast, it's a very different types of scripting, right? It's me understanding the person and seeing what questions do I want to ask. But when it comes to the actual videos that we do, this is a very different type of scripting where it needs to have an introduction, the main things that I want to talk, especially if it's a listicle video like this one, and then the final part, which is the conclusion. Let me give you an example. If we go back to the Sarah episode for the podcast, you can see that here, next to it, I created a text box and I have written the introduction, the different bits and bobs. How did I do it? I will open a text box and I reopen everything that I have saved in the past. I read through it, I make little notes in my text box, and then I shift it around and rewrite it into the script for this guest. So let's go back to our example here, which was Michelle Obama. If I now want to write a text for the script here, I click or drag the text sticker. So I have it here and I can bring it closer and I make it big. Let's say I want to watch the interview with Jay Shetty. I put it to play. And while it's playing, if I'm watching something and I want to write it down, I can just write it down here. Interview with Jay, main takeaways, right? And then maybe I'll put number 1. What did she talk about here? She talked about hardest part of being you. And now let's say I want to reread the article with Oprah. So I go here, I read through it. Anything I want to add, I can just add it here. How was it leaving the White House? And then I can go through it and make it properly into questions and into proper introduction of the person and the wrap-up questions that I want at the end. So this is how scripting works for the podcast. Now, if we go back to the pros and cons of Dubai, here is what we have. And again, I have my little script here with the pros and the cons that I have listed based on what everyone else has written. So now that's the scripting part done. What do I do with the script after it's done? So if I select the text box, I right click and you see share. I can now download this as a PDF. Now the script is with me as a PDF and I can keep it with me whenever I'm filming to have it on my laptop, or I can send it to the videographer who will be filming with me so he or she also knows what needs to be filmed on the day. Now, similarly with the podcast script, once that's ready, I will again, share, download as PDF. And once it's downloaded, I can send it to the guest as well if they have requested for questions beforehand, and they can see how the conversation will go. And you see how this helps me with collaboration as well, much easier. One interesting aspect of it as well is that if this is a sponsored video or a brand is working with me on this video, this is where I will also send them a PDF of the script, and I might even send them a screenshot of the whole Canva for them to see like a mood board of what the video will look like, right? And that's incredible because now they also have a bit more of an understanding and a visualization of what the content will look like. And another thing that I do as well sometimes is you will notice this little green star here. Whenever I'm watching the videos or I have photos that I have saved here, I always think, what would make for a good thumbnail for the video? And if I like one of the existing thumbnails, so if I liked a photo, for example, here, I really like this photo of Sarah, I just put a little green star on it, and my editor knows, because my editor has access to my Canva as well. He knows that now this little star means that this is a photo we need to use for the thumbnail. And if we look at the Dubai video again, you will see that here as well, I have a little green star on my one because I'm thinking of redoing it. But that just means that that's the thumbnail that worked. And this is something we need to redo again. So going back to our case study at hand, which was Michelle Obama, if we were to go back to the browser and look for a Michelle Obama headshots, and we have all of these really cool pictures of her, and let's say that I like this one, and once it's here I will just add it here and I will copy paste my little green star here. Obviously usually there should be more than one so that the star is identifying the one that I want to use. So now we've done our research, we've done our scripting, and we are ready to shoot. Now comes the third S, which is shooting. So now that I have my PDF script, it makes it so much easier to film, whether alone, in a studio, or with a videographer on set. So that means that we know exactly what we need to fulfill in order to not miss anything based on the script. Once shooting is done, I will now have my files ready to upload to the drive. This is one place where I need to do it in a different subsection of the internet, but that's on the drive. I upload everything on the drive. So now after filming comes the fourth S, which is the selecting. What do I mean by that? We've filmed a lot, we have a lot of footage. Now we need to go through the footage in order to identify what we actually want to use. And I now need to collect all of this in a very neat way so that if my videographer was not with me or if it's someone else who's editing, they can follow whatever is going on. So usually what I used to do in the past was I would just have a drive where all my folders are and I will just send that to them. And I will try to send as much direction as possible via message. But now with my Canva, life is a lot easier. So if we go back to our case study in hand, Sarah, you see that there's this green box at the bottom where I have put the link to the drive. So if we were to now open this link, you see this is the drive where I have saved the raw footage and also where my editor will now put the output. So this makes it, again, so much easier because now the editor can see my Canva where they see the inspiration, they see the script, and they also see the raw footage all in one place. So if the person who is editing was not with you on set or during shooting, they now have a better way of visualizing what you were trying to achieve. So the raw footage is there. Usually in the podcast, you will have the 3 camera angles, the audio and everything. and they will edit it and send me the output. So if we open the output folder, you will see that we have the YouTube, Spotify, ad breaks, and reels. And the ad breaks is because this was a sponsored video. So if we were to open the YouTube folder, you'll see the thumbnail is there and the full video. And similarly, if we were to go on the Spotify one, you have the thumbnail and the audio. And with the ad breaks, you will have all the ads included. And here are the reels. So you will see all the reels are here, edited with the logo, with the subtitles and the music. Everything is here, easy to access. So now if we go back to our Canva, you will see that now we have the ideation part, all the inspiration, the research, the script is there, plus the raw footage and the edited footage. Everything is here. So that's the selection done. And now I can send the link to the output, to the sponsor and the guests if they requested to check. So everyone, again, has access easily to everything with the overall picture of what we are thinking for this video. And just to show you again, even for the pros and cons of Dubai, we have the same thing. We have the link to the Google Drive here, and all the raw footage of the video was there, and also the output is there in that drive. And even now, when it comes to if I have any changes that I want them to do, I can also leave a little note here. For example, if I were to use one of the post-it stickers, I will just put it here and be like, edits for draft 1, change the music, add Arabic subtitles, add end screen to the reel number 3, so all of my edits will be here. And again, the editor can just go back here. They don't need to keep track of what they've done or what they haven't done yet, right? So that's, again, a lot easier. Now comes number 5 of the workflow, which is scheduling. So I always record in advance. We try to edit in advance. We try to have everything done early on, because there's nothing worse than running around a day before the podcast is meant to come out, trying to get everybody on board. So that's why we get to schedule early on. Now, what is scheduling? I don't use any apps when it comes to scheduling, because I just find it very confusing. And again, it just adds more work. But even the inbuilt apps of YouTube Studio or TikTok on the browser, you can actually schedule your post already. So that makes it a lot easier. So that's when it comes to actually scheduling the podcast. What I do here on the Canva is I will put a little sticker with a date that I want to post this video. So you'll see here, it was the 3rd of November, 2023. And this one a lot earlier, the 3rd of March of 2023. So you will have the date as well here. I know that other places like Notion and stuff gives you a more visual content calendar, which I'm sure is very helpful. But for me, that does not really hinder, because my actual calendar is on my Google Calendar. So my main work calendar, where I have all of my meetings, all of my social things. I also have my posting dates of videos there, because I like to look at only one calendar, and that makes it a lot easier for me. But if you wanted to, here you can also use tags. So for example, for the Dubai video, if I wanted to add a tag, I go here and there's a tagging here, and I can put it as posted. So I've created the tag now that it says posted. For the Sarah as well, we can say that this was posted, done with the Michelle Obama, which hasn't been done yet. Let's try to add different tags. We have ideation, we have posted, we have shooting, scripting. So for Michelle Obama, obviously, what we're going to put is that it is on the scripting part of things. If I go on my search tool, if I look for posted, I will see pros and cons of Dubai, and I say show all, Sarah Al-Madani. But if I want to do the scripting part, I will see that it's Michelle Obama that is being scripted. So it is easier to filter through here as well. But in terms of a content calendar, I wouldn't say this is the solution for it, because for me, that was not the problem. The problem was more having all of the research, the scripting, the footage, the editing, and everything in one place. So now that our content is scheduled, it will go live on the specific date that we picked for it. And that's it. The video has gone live. These are our 5 S's of the workflow. But if you've stuck around, I have a secret sauce for you. The secret 6 is that we also need to evaluate how the content is doing. And that's how you keep growing, and you make sure that you can double down on what's working and fix what's not working. So for example, if we go back to our Canva and we look at the Sarah video again, you will see that here I've also added graphs from the YouTube Studio for how this video did, and also a little picture of one of the reels and the insights. Obviously, this one was a no-brainer. It did super well. And you can see that The revenue is there as well, which was about 4,000 dirhams. Not a lot because YouTube AdSense is not great here. But also you can see the views have been growing and still growing. It hasn't really stopped yet. And the reel had about 14 million views, so it did really well. I like to look a little bit at the shares and at the saved. You will see that 148,000 people saved this reel, which means that it's really appealing to people and it is very helpful. And 276,000 people shared this reel, which means that they really wanted someone else to look at it. And this is the kind of content that I know I need to double down on, because shareability is a lot more important than comments and likes, in my opinion. And that's why I always like to see this number really high. And then again, if we look at the Dubai video, I added the YouTube studio video because this was a purely YouTube video. And you will see that this one has been on the rise from day one. It hasn't stopped because this is a searchable video. It is not limited by any trends, any time, or any person. This is relevant to anyone who wants to move to Dubai. Whenever they search it on YouTube, they will find it, and you can see that it keeps growing. So this is how I evaluate how the content did. So similarly for any other video, I will then add the screenshots of the performance. Once the video has been up for about a month, I will slap it on there as well. And that's how a full video content creation has been complete. So now if I were to show you the overall for one of them, let's see the Sarah one. I'm sure at the start it didn't make a lot of sense because a lot of them I hadn't explained yet. So now you see for the Sarah one, we have the name of the guest, we have the research, everything that I have found online. We have the potential thumbnail with a little star to identify it. We have the script, and we have a link to the raw footage and the edited video. Then we have a date when the video went live, and we have the post-production evaluation, which are the graphs. Similarly, for the Dubai video, it's the same thing. We have the inspiration, all the different videos and articles, and we have a particular thumbnail that we like. We have the script, we have the raw footage, we have the edited footage, we have the date it went live, and we have the posting evaluation. So this is how I use Cosmic, and it has been life-changing for me because, as you can see, it creates a lot of order, and once you have done it a few times, it's very easy to keep repeating it. So you know, why not? And the only thing that I do outside of Cosmic is just my content calendar, because that's merged with my actual calendar. So for me, everything is in one place. I don't need to keep switching in between apps and browsers, and it's a very user-friendly interface. I love it. So go ahead, download the app, try it out, see how you like it. But if you want a bit more of an upgrade, I have a discount code for you, which is Sheen20, to get 20% off the paid subscription, which allows you to unlock a lot of things like 50 megabytes file upload and multiplayer collaboration where more people can be on the same Canva, and also gives you about 20 gigabyte total storage. So if you want to make it a little bit better, try it for free. And then if you want to upgrade, you can use my discount code for a better experience at a cheaper price. And as a final message, I will just show you a little bit about the different tools in Cosmic that I haven't shown you yet. So you can create many different universes here. So my one is my content vault. Life in Dubai was something else. And once you are in the universe, as you can see here, you can search for the different tags, which I've shown you. You have your inbuilt browser, and you can create a text box, which is this one, and which is all the things that I have created. You can arrange it however you want. You have sticky notes, and for the sticky notes, you can change the colors, you can play around with the fonts, you can put a tag on it as well. You also have these little writing tools. So you have a pencil, you have a highlighter, you have the eraser, you can choose the color, the different thicknesses and stuff. And you also have this really cool thing, which is called a card, which I have not personally used, but looks really interesting. So for example, with the Michelle Obama stuff, I can put everything on the card, like here, and then I just move the card around and everything moves with it. And you can download a full card here as a PDF. And you can also tag the card, and you can put a name to it. You can change the color, so it's a lot easier to play around and find things when you're looking for it. You can import files as well. If you have any picture on your desktop that you want to put here, you can just drag it and drop it. And there are different shapes that you can draw. So you can draw a square, you can draw a circle. So for example, the square, I can put it around one of these if I wanted to, just to give it a bit of a border, you know. So, and you can change the color, you can change everything else. So very cool, very easy to use. And I love the fact that you can just download anything you want to. So strongly recommend to use it. So here you go. You've seen how I actually do everything to produce 100 posts in 30 days. I have a very easy workflow because I'm a lazy girl and I try to have everything in one place. I hope this was helpful. And again, reminder, it's all about ideation and, you know, really searching for the right information, scripting, shooting, selecting the right images and editing it into the perfect draft, and scheduling your posts, putting it out there, and finally evaluating how your posts are doing. Easy, just do it. And the main thing to remember is that the difficult part is starting. Once you've started, it gets a lot easier. So stop procrastinating and get to it. I will try to do a lot more of these videos and show you the behind the scenes, but for now, here it is. Thank you for joining us, and remember to download Cosmic if you are interested in trying it out. See you in the next one.